From the turmoil in Manipur, let's now shift our attention to what is unfolding in the state of Israel. The question is about democracy. Going by the literal definition, democracy translates as people's rule. But in practice, democracy is often reduced to elections. And this reduction, of course, raises some pretty complex problems, like this one. Now, Israel has witnessed scenes like these pretty much every week this year, and the situation is expected to get worse. The people here are protesting a plan by the most far right-wing government that has ever existed in the state of Israel. The plan is to overhaul the judicial system in the country and make it subservient to the executive. The Benjamin Netanyahu-led government wants to clip the powers of the Israeli judiciary. The right-wing coalition government feels the unelected judiciary is way too activist, so they want to rein in the institution, or that is what the government says. But the Israeli people are not buying it. They feel that with the judicial overhaul, the government wants to do away with the system of checks and balances, and what is worse, Netanyahu personally faces serious charges of corruption. And the people of Israel say that the reason why he wants to bring about these changes is so that he can let himself off the hook. They're describing this judicial overhaul as the first step towards dictatorship. So they're protesting about this plan ever since the idea of judicial overhaul was mooted. But even after months of sustained mass protest, the government has not backed down on its plans. In fact, the first of the reform bills has already been passed. And the Supreme Court has lost its power to strike down the government actions for being unreasonable. The protests are likely to intensify further. Reservists have vowed not to return to work. Doctors have pledged a strike. Newspapers are clad with black ads, and people continue to occupy the streets. This is what is happening in Israel. But the question is this: can the people really do anything else? Well, on paper, they can't do anything to force their popularly elected government to not do something against their wishes. And this brings us back to the crucial question of democracy. This is what happens when we reduce democracy just to elections. There is little control with the people in the period between the two elections. In a sense, they are at the mercy of their elected government, and this is clearly not what people's rule is supposed to be. But this is clearly what indirect democracy, and this is how it plays out. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.